Hello everyone. Today we will be dealing with the last chapter of economics, that is food security in India. Now when we discuss about food security, this chapter is interrelated with the third chapter that we had already read, that is poverty. Now while we study poverty, we had studied about three major factors on which it is dependent, that is food, shelter and clothing. So here in this chapter, while we refer to the food security system, we are going to actually look upon the sector of only the third determinant which is responsible in case of poverty, that is requirement of food. But before moving into the further details of the chapter, first let us just take a brief about what does this food security with respect to India will deal about. So it basically covers 3 points. The first one is its availability. The second one is its accessibility, and the third one deals with its affordability. Availability means so while we refer to the food security system in India, we have to deal with 3 A's. The 3 A's will talk about its availability, the second one will talk about its accessibility, and the third one will deal with affordability. Simple सा logic है, available होना that means it has been made available to each and every person, which is contradictory to the topic that we had taught earlier, that is poverty. The second one is accessibility, that applies to that it is approachable. Approachable means you have access to the nearby markets with easy convenience, and you do not find actually any difficulty in approaching those things, right? So that refers to accessibility. The third one is affordability, that refers to that can be easily purchased by each and everyone. We will regard here this as cost effectiveness basically. So when we complete these 3 A's, we refer to this type of security as food security system. Now, is it practically possible that every country in the world is food secured the way we are talking to? Even if we take example from our own country, अगर हम अपनी खुद की कंट्री का एग्जाम्पल भी लेकर देखें तो पॉसिबल नहीं है कि ये तीनों चीज़ें एक साथ में अवेलेबल हों, तभी तो हम इस फूड सिक्योरिटी के कॉन्सेप्ट को डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. दैट मीन्स somewhere in the line we are not food secured, we are food insecured. That is why we need to focus or we need to consider all these three concepts with greater detail, right? Moving on further, why do we have this problem? Why do we face problem of food सिक्योरिटी? इस प्रॉब्लम को फेस करने के कॉजेस क्या हैं या किन वजह से हम ये प्रॉब्लम्स को फेस कर रहे हैं? दिस इज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज एवरी गवर्नमेंट इन इंडिया हैज एवर फेस्ड. वन ऑफ द मेजर challenges which the country's government faces every time, every tenure is कि हमें पूरी जगह पूरे भारत को फूड सिक्योर्ड बनाना है. ईच एंड एवरी वन शुड बी गिवन फूड, एप्रोप्रिएट फूड, लीव अपार्ट अदर रिक्वायरमेंट्स विच द पीपल नीड. अब ये प्रॉब्लम इमर्ज क्यों हो रही है, हम फेस क्यों कर रहे हैं? इसको देखने के दो तरीके हैं। सबसे पहला ग्रुप या सबसे पहला ऑब्वियस ग्रुप जो इसको फेस कर रहा है वो ग्रुप है बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन पीपल। अब जब हम बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन पीपल की बात कर रहे हैं तो बेसिकली हम इसमें दो डिटर्मिनेंट्स या दो फैक्टर्स को कंसीडर करते हैं। पहला फैक्टर है कैलोरी इनटेक का और दूसरा फैक्टर है ऑब्वियसली इनकम। हम लोगों ने कैलोरी कंजम्पशन के ऊपर और इनकम के ऊपर एक बहुत रफ आप एक तरीके से लाइन बोल लीजिए कि हम लोगों ने लाइन ड्रॉ कर रखी है। पीपल क्लासिफाइड अबव this line or qualify above this strata are known as people belonging to above poverty line, and those who fall on the same line or below it are classified as below poverty line people. तो definitely जो लोग भी below poverty line होंगे वो इन amenities में तो lack करते ही होंगे and definitely might be food insecure. Hence the below poverty line people or the group or the category is the obvious category which is facing this insecurity with respect to food. The second category which is facing this insecurity is related to the people who are either above poverty line but are still facing this condition. These conditions may be faced under some kind of natural calamity or some kind of disaster. Now while we refer to calamity or disaster, we are referring to it can affect any group. We are not here only specific about the people affected by this only. It can affect any group at any stark point of time. So the people belonging to above poverty line are also prone to be affected and be food insecure. So in case of natural calamity or any kind of natural disaster, these people may be under this condition. अब इसकी वजह से ये क्यों होगा? डेफिनेट सी बात है, conditions will prevail when the demand of the commodities will be higher. Definitely it's a simple economics phenomena. When the demand is higher and the supply of the goods is low, this will lead to rise in prices of the essential commodities. So this is obvious factor why above poverty line people are prone to be affected or to be called as food insecure. All right, moving on further, this will lead to condition of starvation. Obviously when you have nothing to feed on, so this will create a condition of starvation and hence you might see number of people dead due to this condition. जब starvation की condition होगी तो people will be forced to consider or consume contaminated food which might destroy their overall health. And if people are considering or consuming contaminated food, this might lead to spreading of epidemics. The meaning of epidemics is when a single disease spread out through a larger area and there are no effective means to control those diseases, those are called as epidemics. तो जब आप contaminated food consume कर रहे हो और एक region के ऊपर ही वो prevail कर रही है food insecurity, तो definitely there will be, you will see spreading up of epidemics over here. All right. Now what India has witnessed till now? Bengal has witnessed the worst ever natural calamity and due to that the worst ever famine have been faced by Bengal in the year 1943, where approximately 30 lakh people were killed. So this is just a one instance which mentions that there are, due to such calamities, the people were worst affected and it led to the death toll to approximately 30 lakh people in one single go. In one single go, 30 lakh people were swept away from that place. There are certain places in particularly every regions जो कि ये calamities अधिकतर टाइम पर फेस करती रहती हैं और जिनकी जोग्राफिकल लोकेशन इस तरीके की है कि दे आर प्रोन टू फेसिंग दीज कंडीशंस. We can just name a few bit of examples. There are certain districts in Rajasthan also, like Bara district faces this problem or are prone to facing this problem. We have certain states like Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bengal, Bihar, which might face these problems, and the occurrence of these is quite frequent, and hence it leads to taking away many lives during such conditions, and this may be one of the results of the climatic conditions, the geographical location also, which leads to such problems as a common tendency, right. Moving on further, how can we say, yeah, who are the categories who are most food insecure? We can classify it into two parts. We will have rural background, and on the other hand we will have urban background. Now if we consider the people who are belonging to rural background will be totally landless people who do not have any land of their own, are going to be the first category who is going to be food insecure in case of any event or in case of any natural calamity. The second one is traditional artisans. The third one is going to be the beggars, or any of the people who are working as peasants, right. There is a difference between a farmer and a peasant. A peasant is the one who is dependent upon others for his source of income, while a farmer is a person who is self-sufficient and has his own piece of land. Moving on to the urban area. In urban area, who are the people who are going to be worst affected? These are going to be casual laborers who are working on daily basis and getting payment on daily basis, daily wages. The second one is the people who are socially backward are going to be the ones who are going to be affected by it. Supposedly a person belongs to the category of scheduled caste and is also a casual laborer at the same time. So since this person has higher chances of being affected by poverty, he has at the same time higher chances of being affected by the same food insecurity. We had already studied about such categories. We consider these categories when a person falls in two categories at the very same time. This concept is known as concept of double disadvantage. So this person will be categorized as a double disadvantaged person who is falling in two backward places at the very same time. So he is going to be the one who is going to be affected. We can also call women and children in the category of food insecure. Women might often face the condition of malnutrition, and it may also affect pregnant women more, in which the woman herself is affected and even the unborn child's condition is also affected. So this might lead to lack of nutritional value in the diet of mother, might lead to the severe impact or severe bad effect on the health of unborn child as well. So, women and children also comes in the category of urban people who are food insecure. Moving on further, we can identify some of the states in India who are facing this food insecurity from quite a longer time and are still persistently facing this problem. So, which states are the ones who are facing this problem? The first insecure state is definitely Bihar. The second one is Jharkhand. The third one is Maharashtra. The fourth one is Odisha. The fifth one is Chhattisgarh. And the sixth one is MP, Madhya Pradesh. So, definitely there are certain states or certain parts in India which are more food insecure than other parts of India. Like we have listed here 6 states like Bihar, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Odisha, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. Now, when we talk about food insecurity, we are referring to hunger. Hunger refers to a condition where people are not able to fill up their stomach, and it is of two types. The first is chronic, the second one is seasonal. When there is chronic hunger will see a declination in the quality and quantity of food. And when there is seasonal hunger, this is based on the seasons, like seasonal employment. The same way it is based on seasons, like when you have money to purchase food, you have money to purchase food items, that will be the month wherein you will be food secured. But when you don't have money to purchase all these things, you will be food insecure. So, it is of two types, chronic and seasonal. Chronic hunger is when there is lack of, the quality is also poor and the quantity is also not sufficient to fill up your belly. That will lead to chronic hunger, right. Moving on further, how is India, what steps the Indian government is taking to make India food secured and to make people come out of this condition? This is the most important topic of this chapter related to, because these are the steps which the government is initiating at their part. So, we will move on to the steps taken by the government. The first step which was taken or initiated by the government was regarded to green revolution, which is also called as wheat revolution. We had studied this already in the chapter Palampur, that year 1960 to 1980 is regarded as golden era for Indian history due to the starting up of green revolution, which increased the production and India attained sufficiency with respect to production of wheat and rice. So, this is also known as wheat revolution, started in 1968 in India, started by MS Swaminathan, wherein the farmers were provided with hybrid variety of seeds which were known as HYV seeds, high yield variety. Pesticides and insecticides were provided to them fertilizers were provided to them. So all these things related to green revolution we have already studied earlier. We move on to the next important steps which have been taken. First we will write the definition which is mentioned in the book. The buffer stock refers to the stock of food grains procured by the government through FCI, that is Food Corporation of India. The third step that the government has taken is minimum support price, and this price is pre-announced price given to the farmers at the time of sowing. The fourth one is issue price. The price at which the food grains are sold, which is lower than the market प्राइस। ये 4 स्टेप्स गवर्नमेंट ने लिए हैं। ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं। बफर स्टॉक का मतलब होता है जब गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया फूड ग्रेन्स को स्टॉक करके रख लेती है एंड इट इज प्रोक्योर्ड बाय द फूड कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया। बफर स्टॉक का मतलब है कि इन केस ऑफ एनी इमरजेंसी, if there is any calamity or if there is any problem faced by the Indian people, this buffer stock is used by the government to supply it. For example, that there are floods in a certain region, so definitely there will be food insecurity in that particular region, and there will be scarcity of grains. So in that condition, if government of India is helping the people, from where? So this is from the buffer stock that it starts helping the people, right? So it is procured by the government of India through the Food Corporation of India. This agency is responsible for maintaining it. The minimum support price is, at the time of sowing, some of the farmers are assured that the crops that is going to be harvested after some time, the crops will be purchased by the government, and those prices that are announced are pre-decided, and these pre-announced prices are given to the farmer once these crops are taken from them, right? So this price which is pre-announced to the farmer is known as minimum support price. Why this has been initiated? This has been initiated in case if there is no one to buy from that particular farmer, the farmer can sell his produce to the government. So a stable income is generated. Hence the government has started this minimum support price. And the fourth one is issue price. Now this issue price is available to the people who are belonging to below poverty line and they have ration card, that is of the below poverty line people. They can go to certain shops and they can ask for the commodities like wheat, rice, dal, sugar, and earlier kerosene oil was provided. This price is lower than the market price. That suppose if sugar in the market price is approximately 30 to 40 rupees kg, In these particular fair price shops, you can get it at a very reasonable rate from 10 to 15 rupees per kg. So, this margin which is created is actually the 15 rupee that person is paying is known as the issue price. So, we end our lecture today over here. We are going to start with the next topic, that is public distribution system, in the next lecture. Thank you so much.